I was forced to stay at the risk of my life. Before I tell my story, I'd like to say, I was cheated on many times prior to what I am about to speak on and found cheating absolutely abhorrent. That being said, I was shocked to find myself in that scenario, and I now understand that it's not so black and white. I was in an extremely abusive relationship, mentally, physically, and sexually. I tried breaking up with my ex numerous times, but she would literally attempt suicide in an effort to make me stay. And I was gullible enough to allow that rather than getting her help. A year or so into our horrid relationship, she introduced me to her best friend at her cosmetology school. I regularly went because she wanted support and someone to work on, which I really had no choice in. I noticed we had a lot of similar interests, and that was cool. Slowly, we all started hanging out more and more outside of her cosmetology school. A month or two after we met, me and her were decently close, but on a friend level with no aspirations to go further. This is when she witnessed the abuse from my ex for the first time. We were at a mall and my ex was looking at perfume. From behind, my ex asks, "Do you like the smell of this?" To which I turn around as she sprays me multiple times in the eyes with the perfume, which burned to an insane level. My ex sat there laughing, while people in the store went up to her saying, "WTF is wrong with you, why would you do that," etc. Her best friend immediately grabbed me and ran me to the nearest bathroom to wash my eyes out, since I couldn't see. She helped me wash my eyes out and gave me a hug because I was really upset. Then she told me, why do I put up with that, and how could I be with someone like that? I then told her why, and she got really upset hearing about my ex that way. This is when I caught a feeling or two. I hadn't felt someone care and be nice to me in so long. My ex then came into the bathroom and shooed her away before trying to force me to have sex with her in the bathroom to make me feel better. I told her she was disgusting and we all left. A few weeks later, her friend invited us to go swimming at her house. I definitely was a little hot and bothered by seeing her in a bikini, and was really conflicted about how I felt. Later that day, when my ex went to the bathroom, she came up to me in the pool and gave me another hug because she said she missed being hugged like the first time. This time though, as we were embraced, she moved my hand down to her butt, and when we let go, she looked at me seductively before pulling her top away to reveal her boobs for a moment. This is when I knew she caught feelings for me too. Nothing else happened before my ex and I left, and I had no idea what to make of what was happening, other than I wanted it. Another few weeks pass, and her friend had started texting me. Nothing bad was texted, until the last day where she wanted an opinion on an outfit she was going to wear. When she sent it, it was her in see-through lingerie. At that point, I felt like I was cheating because I wanted her, and I hated my ex. So the next day, after a really awful week with my ex, I broke up with her in hopes to be with her friend. Her friend was really excited, and she started sexting me and talking about dating and everything. The next day, I went to get some of my stuff from my ex, and she had somehow found out from a friend of a friend of a friend that I was cheating on her. We were broken up at this point, and she flies off the wall about how I'm a piece of shit, cheater, this and that, before going home that night and slitting her wrists unsuccessfully. She showed up the next day at my house with her mum unannounced to show me what I did to her. I fucking freaked out. Her and her mum were berating me. I ended up accepting her back so she wouldn't kill herself. She then forced me to ghost the girl I had fallen for and forced me to go on a camping trip with her family the weekend right after this happened. They threatened me, made me feel like a piece of shit, treated me like scum, and my ex forced me to have sex with her, to which afterwards, she accused me of thinking of her friend and started wailing on me. I endured another year of this psychopath and lost out on the best, smartest, kindest, and most attractive girl I had ever seen because I feared for the life of my ex over my own life. She never let down that I cheated on her, and in fact, decided to cheat on me down the road as payback. Except it was full-blown cheating, as she did many things with the guy. I'm still not healed over that time of my life, but I thankfully got out of that relationship in a safe way for both of us. So to me, there are different kinds of cheating. On one hand, yes, you have assholes that do it for absolutely no reason, and on the other, You have people that are so neglected that they can't help but cling on to any semblance of love outside of their relationship. So while yes, things happened that could have been considered as cheating on my part, I did try and end the relationship because I knew what was going on. I didn't want to be a cheater, but I had ended up in that situation because of the relationship I endured. I feel there are two components to the why. First is why I cheated. Second is why I was able to cheat. Why did I cheat? Forgive me for being blunt, but the reason is because I could get away with it. I have spent months trying to understand what was going on in my head when I made that decision. I've understood now that there is no other logic there, no grand why. I did not think about why I should have an affair the way you or anyone else would. I did not weigh any pros and cons of my husband and the AP. I saw the opportunity to do something I saw as fun and exhilarating. And I thought, as long as I keep it secret, nobody gets hurt and there is no harm in it. It was a selfish choice on all accounts, and in my mind, I was not making a choice between my husband and AP. I saw that I could get away with having both, so why not have both? But clearly, there was something wrong with me. My husband, someone I claimed to love, was not considered anywhere in that decision to have an affair. I was breaking my promises to him. I was giving away something that rightfully belonged to him by virtue of being my husband. I was betraying him, his love, and his trust, and not feeling a single bit of guilt about it until the moment he found me out. Everyone who cheats is emotionally dysfunctional. The second why is about finding what exactly is wrong with you that allowed you to make such selfish choices and be so unempathetic towards someone you claim to love. For me, it was a combination of childhood trauma, vulnerability issues, and toxic, unrealistic expectations from my husband. For other waywards, it might be anything from bad boundaries, sexual trauma, to mental disorders. Some are simply born unable to not be selfish. People with narcissistic tendencies often end up as a wayward at some point in their lives. I think the second why is way more important than the first one. The first one comes from the perspective of a person who is emotionally dysfunctional. You will likely struggle to understand it because there is nothing to understand there. A dysfunctional human does not make logical decisions. You will only drive yourself insane trying to make sense of it. It is unhelpful. The second one, on the other hand, comes from a more mature and understandable viewpoint. It arises from remorse and a conscious effort at trying to understand and not repeat the same mistakes. It explains why the person reached a stage where they could make these illogical decisions in the first place. This why is helpful, because it also tells you what you can do to avoid making selfish decisions in future. This is the why you should focus on if you want to be a better person. Thanks for watching. Share the video with your friends and write your stories in the comments. Maybe you'll be the one in the next video.